An MVC framework? Oh my god. MVC framework. I thought you wrote the programming language, but an MVC framework. You mean to tell me, with all this ego, you wrote something that... Dude, sorry, I'm just gonna be very full-frontedly honest with you. Yes, you wrote MVC before it was cool, but mate, MVC is not hard. A custom MVC solution, many people pick that as their first like software engineering challenge. Let me build an MVC framework. Mate, yes, it's not special. In fact, I even think MVC was here before your time. I'm pretty sure this thing was done in the 90s, bro. I think you need to get off your high horse, mate. Really, mate. You need to get off your high horse. There are many people who can vibe code an MVC framework now. So you really need to get off your high horse.
Welcome to the Dev Roast with your host Alex W. Starring DHH, creator of Ruby on Rails.
Hey guys, my name's Alex. Yeah, the sound is a little bit off, mainly because, to be honest, this is my first major video that I want to like do on YouTube that is a reaction video to something. And today I'm going to decide to react mainly to the slander preached by DHH, somebody who apparently is a big like developer in the Ruby world. He created Ruby on Rails. Oh, great, amazing. It's an MVC fucking framework. At the end of the day, let's not kid ourselves. Many people have actually built MVC frameworks. But at the end of the day, I just really did not like his take on vibe coding in general. And I decided to make a two-part series because it's actually quite big, the way I actually dissected everything. I decided to dissect it as a software engineer. And I just also decided to dissect it as a computer scientist, somebody who's been studying computer science. I have like bachelor's in computer science. I have a master's as well. So I kind of know what I do. I don't want to say that I'm the best. I have some knowledge in like the realms of software engineering, algorithms. I'm not going to solve your leak codes. Fuck that. I'm not one of those types of people. I'm probably not. I don't really remember leak codes that much. I'm not that kind of dude. I'm more of I'm majorly into software engineering, architecture, and like how systems work together, especially distributed systems. I'm more into stuff like that. But this just really like made me question how egotistical some programmers can be. And it really like shocked me how the industry just sits down and nods and says, yeah, this is the programmer we should really listen to. And I'm that type of person who says, no, fuck that. This is the type of programmer we should avoid. But at the end of the day, I'll just let DHH speak for himself and my reactions to what he had to say. I didn't really like him. I didn't really watch the whole thing. I just saw it come up on my YouTube and it just made me really think to myself, is this how people actually see AI? But yeah, for me, I don't know. I feel like he just thinks he's the best programmer around. And there are quite a few people who do actually think they're the best programmer around. I'm not really going to reveal that many people, but this is definitely one of them. If you meet a person in your team who's like this, oh, mate, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that you have to be blessed with that. Well, not blessed, but cursed with that shit. I would just say double down and just do what you can.
I think one of the big open questions to me is how far you can get with vibe coding. Whether an approach for a young developer to invest most of their time into vibe coding or into writing code from scratch. So vibe coding meaning, so I'm leaning into the meme a little bit, but vibe coding meaning you generate code. You have this idea of a thing you want to create. You generate the code, and then you fix it with both natural language through the prompts and manually. You learn enough to manually fix it. So that's the learning process, how you fix code that's generated. Or you write code from scratch, and have the LLMs kind of tab, add extra code? Like, which part do you lean on? I think to be safe, you should find the beauty and the artistry and the skill in both, right from scratch. So like there should be some percent of your time just writing from scratch and some percent vibe coding.
There should be more of the time writing from scratch. If you are interested in learning how to program, unfortunately, you're not going to get fit by watching fitness videos. You're not going to learn how to play the guitar by watching YouTube guitar videos. You have to actually play yourself. You have to do the sit-ups. Programming, understanding, learning almost.
I really love the way he actually like aligns it with, you have to do the sit-ups, you have to do the reps. As somebody who goes to the gym quite a bit, it's kind of true. You can't get strong from fitness videos. He has a point here, but the main bit here is it really depends upon your experience as a software engineer or developer. Where are you at? If you're like a young guy who's just gotten into coding and stuff like that, he kind of is speaking some knowledge here. There's truth to this. If you're young, hell, you don't know anything about programming, good luck figuring out the mess that AI is going to give you. God be with you, mate. But at the end of the day, I kind of have some points of contention. And one of the points of contention is just throwing out the word that vibe coding is terrible, because it actually isn't as a software engineer. And I will touch upon points about this.
Almost anything requires you to do. Humans are not built to absorb information in a way that transforms into skills by just watching others from afar. Now, ironically, it seems AI is actually quite...
I don't agree with this, actually. So, watching others from afar. If you guys have never been to a university lecture, then he's basically said that. Like, when you're in a university lecture and they're actually teaching you about algorithms and stuff, it's somebody doing it. It's somebody slowly unraveling the magic behind the sorting algorithm. He's slowly unraveling the logic behind a pattern, for example, the observer pattern, and why it works and where it's actually used. Hey, he's revealing to you the secrets to the magic. And I kind of sometimes believe AI can actually do this quite well. Anytime, like, all you students out there, when you're actually studying, like, stuff, you should actually study with AI. And when I mean study with AI, if you don't understand a pattern, ask the AI, hey, can you just show me an example of the, like, is it called the flyweight pattern, and where it would be applicable? You know, I kind of don't agree with this, because essentially you're basically telling me, hey, I can't use this calculator. Look, we're all grown. If you're in kindergarten or primary school or elementary school, for all those American folk out there, I gotta say one thing. Yeah, you shouldn't use a calculator. Learn your times tables, okay? But if you're in university, if you're trying to understand concepts like linear algebra, calculus, and all that, use your bloody calculator. And I kind of agree with this, where you actually can use AI to further enhance your learning. Hey, I'll give you an example. When you want to learn something actually quite difficult, like, let me give you something that you probably all don't know, something like consistent hashing and hash rings and stuff like that. Yeah, good luck finding good online resources like flipping Wikipedia and all that. You open the Wikipedia page for that, and I'll give you time to actually read through that shit and make sense of it. But if you literally just ask Gemini the question, pass him some links and ask him, give me a nice friendly way of how to see this in a creative way, you've just learned consistent fucking hashing. And consistent hashing is not an easy trick. Okay? So I actually don't agree with that. I actually agree that sometimes to actually understand a problem, you need more examples. And LLMs are great for this. Let's continue.
Good at that. But humans are not. If you want to learn how to become a competent programmer, you have to program. It's really not...
I agree that you have to program. You definitely have to program. But one thing you also need to understand is you have to learn. You can't just sit there with a fucking programming language up and Google and the documentation for the programming language. No, you have to like go and read little books and shit like that. If you want to learn game development, you're not going to spend your time on the C++ docs. Yes, you will sometimes, but no, you're going to go and spend time learning flipping linear algebra, trigonometry. You're going to go learn many other things. And again, as I said, LLMs are perfect for this. Because again, you don't understand an example like how to use sine, cos, tan, where are you going to get the answer from? Again, sometimes these things assist with learning. This is the major bit. Remember, us human beings, the way we make creative ideas is taking two and two things together. Things that should have never been put together, put together.
That difficult to understand. Now, I understand the temptation, and the temptation is there because vibe coding can produce things, perhaps in this moment, especially in a new domain you're not familiar with tools you don't know perfectly well, that's better than what you could do, or that you would take much longer to get at. But
now, here is where I have another point of contention. And one major issue is, what about for those programmers who are actually building big products? And when I mean big products, I mean you're building full-on applications. Yeah? You don't have a front-end developer. Hell, you don't have an SRE. You don't have somebody who can do the DevOps for you. What do you do? What do you do? Or do you just decide, oh yeah, because I've studied only AI, I'm just gonna work on the model. I'm gonna work on the model. I'm gonna get out my little PyTorch. I'm gonna build my model, and then I'm gonna hide it until I can find another set of programmers who are enthusiastic enough. Nah, mate, come on. We live in 2025. Yeah, we fucking live in 2025. Yeah. Listen, if I'm not good at front-end development, I will delegate it to Claude. If I'm not good in making APIs, I will delegate it to something else and then spend more important bloody time focusing on the AI model. It's a win-win. Yeah, you get a really good front end, you get a decent API that's consistent, and at the same time, you can now put all that energy in the AI model. All that of your man-hour energy in the AI model, and actually make it better than any other LLM would. I think he's completely overlooked this. Yeah, he's completely not thinking outside the box here. And that's one big problem I've started seeing from a lot of, I'm sorry to say this, egotistical programmers. They have a huge ego just because they love living inside this cocoon of what I call complexity. Yeah? Stop it, please, people. AI came here to take the complexity away and you still want to hide in your cocoon? Fuck's sakes, grow up. In a world of financial uncertainties where the market is a storm, we need to find a new way to get through the storm. A new algorithmic trading solution that bridges the gaps between quant developer and retail trader. Theo. Master the financial storm with Theo.